All right, let's dive into this Cam Thomas situation because it's shaping up to be one of the more intriguing stories in the NBA right now. The way things are unfolding, it looks increasingly likely that Cam Thomas might just accept the qualifying offer from the Brooklyn Nets. That, in itself, is a pretty big deal because it suggests that the Nets aren't particularly eager to offer him the kind of contract or role he probably envisions for himself. Cam sees himself as one of the top scorers and guards in the league, someone who can put up serious points night after night. But Brooklyn seems to have a very different perspective, more along the lines of how they viewed Lou Williams, a solid scorer off the bench, but not necessarily a centerpiece or a guy they're going to build around. Now, from my point of view, Thomas would actually fit really well on a contender's roster, coming off the bench and dropping anywhere from 15 to 20 points regularly. He's exactly the type of player who could be a legitimate candidate for Sixth Man of the Year. You get that consistent scoring punch off the bench that changes the flow of games, and on nights when he's just locked in and can't miss, you let him do his thing. The problem, however, is that there are some concerns about his overall game beyond scoring. His court vision sometimes feels limited, like he gets tunnel vision when he's got the ball in his hands. Defensively, there's a lot of question marks as well. So Brooklyn's hesitation isn't without some reasoning. They're weighing those factors heavily. But here's where it gets interesting from a team-building perspective, especially for a team like the Lakers. If I were in the front office, I'd seriously consider trying to lure Thomas away from Brooklyn, particularly if he does accept that qualifying offer, which is reportedly around $7 million. It puts him in a spot where teams like the Lakers could swoop in and offer him a more appealing situation. Brooklyn isn't looking to keep him long-term, so it's a classic case of why not let another team take a chance on him instead of losing him for nothing? You can pitch the Lakers as a place where he'd be a featured scorer off the bench in a bigger market with more spotlight and a real chance to prove himself on a team with championship aspirations. The comparison to Malik Monk is a perfect example. Monk was in a similar boat a few years back. Young, talented, but not quite fitting into his former team's plans the way he wanted. He took a prove-it deal with the Lakers on a veteran minimum contract, and nobody expected much. But he ended up being one of the few bright spots on that otherwise struggling Lakers squad, putting together enough impressive performances to eventually land a much bigger contract with Sacramento. That story could easily repeat with Cam Thomas if the Lakers play their cards right. One way the Lakers could approach this is by offering Thomas a deal that's a bit more flexible than Brooklyn's proposed terms. For example, a 1+1 contract, one guaranteed year with a player option for the second. That gives Thomas the chance to bet on himself, knowing if things go well, he can test the market again the following year. Maybe the Lakers offer something in the range of $11 million a year, which is a decent bump from the qualifying offer, and also in line with what Gabe Vincent is making. Pairing this with a trade that involves players like Gabe Vincent and Dalton Connect could clear roster space and salary cap room for the Lakers, while bringing in a high-upside scorer who fills a glaring need on their bench. Last season, the Lakers' bench was one of the worst scoring units in the league, so bringing in someone like Thomas could be a game-changer. Not only would he provide instant offense, but if Austin Reeves or D'Angelo Russell needs a night off, Thomas could step in as a starter and still give you 20 to 30 points on any given night. His per-game numbers last season were solid, averaging around 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting over 44% from the field. If he's motivated and hungry for a better contract, which he surely would be in a prove-it situation, there's no reason he couldn't elevate his game even further. His shooting splits are interesting too. Last year, his three-point percentage dipped a bit, but if he could get back to shooting in the 36 to 38% range on decent volume, that would be a huge boost for the Lakers' spacing. On two-point attempts, he shot over 50%, which is efficient for a guard who takes a fair number of shots. He's also an excellent free throw shooter, hitting over 88% for his career, which shows that he has solid shooting mechanics and can capitalize on getting to the line. What's compelling about Thomas is his scoring versatility. He can play on the ball or off it, which adds a layer of flexibility for any lineup construction. And when you combine that with his youth, he's just 23 years old. You get a player who not only has room to grow, but can also be part of the Lakers' core or trade package moving forward. If things don't work out, His contract can be an expiring asset that the Lakers can move to create more flexibility later on. From a strategic standpoint, bringing Thomas in could also complement other moves the Lakers are making, like the addition of Marcus Smart and potentially giving Bronny James some meaningful minutes. If the Lakers are serious about giving their young players rotation roles, losing a player like Gabe Vincent to bring in Thomas wouldn't be a disaster. Vincent is a solid role player, but Thomas brings a different dimension, pure scoring. It's important to note that Thomas is not a traditional playmaker. He's not going to be the guy running the offense or dishing out a ton of assists, but he is one of the most reliable bucket getters you'll find. That kind of scorer is invaluable off the bench. What's more, the exposure Thomas would get coming off the Lakers bench in a high-profile market could actually boost his profile far more than starting on a struggling Brooklyn team. Even if he plays fewer minutes, scoring 15 points a night for the Lakers and competing for 6th Man of the Year honors is a much stronger resume builder than putting up similar numbers on a team that might not even make the playoffs. The Lakers could make a low-risk, high-reward move here, essentially swapping out a couple of role players for a young scorer with a chip on his shoulder. If it doesn't work out, Thomas opts out or leaves after a year, and the Lakers haven't lost anything major. If it does work out, they've found a lethal scoring punch off the bench that could be a key piece in a championship run. There are still questions about Thomas's defense and whether he can buy in on that end, but if the Lakers manage to get him to focus on defense while letting him do what he does best, score, this could be a win-win. It's a move that would provide the Lakers with a dynamic scorer, roster flexibility, and potential trade value, all while addressing a glaring weakness in their bench production. In the end, it comes down to risk versus reward, and Thomas represents a classic flyer with high upside. The Lakers don't have much to lose here, and if they can pull it off, they could add a key piece to their roster who brings a scoring punch they desperately need. The next steps will be watching how Brooklyn handles the qualifying offer situation and whether the Lakers make a serious push to bring Cam Thomas into their fold. Either way, this is a story worth following closely because it could have a significant impact on both teams' futures. Continuing from the previous analysis, let's dig deeper into the potential impact of Cam Thomas joining the Lakers and the various scenarios that could unfold from this possible move. It's important to recognize that while the Lakers would be taking a calculated risk in acquiring Thomas, the upside could be tremendous if everything clicks. The team has been in dire need of a consistent scoring option off the bench, and Thomas fits that mold perfectly. His ability to get buckets in bunches, especially in short bursts, is exactly what championship contenders look for in their 6th man. Imagine the pressure he could take off LeBron James and Anthony Davis by providing a scoring boost when the starters rest. That kind of offensive firepower could turn close games into solid wins and make the Lakers' second unit far more competitive. From a chemistry standpoint, there are some questions, but also reasons to be optimistic. Thomas is known as a bit of a score-first player, and sometimes that can rub teammates the wrong way, especially on teams that expect more ball movement and playmaking from every guard. However, the Lakers have a culture that, for the most part, understands roles clearly. Players like Malik Monk and Austin Reeves have shown they can carve out roles that maximize their strengths without needing to be the focal point of every possession. If Thomas buys into that mindset, coming off the bench, playing within the team system, focusing on scoring and improving his defense, there's no reason he can't fit in well. Moreover, playing alongside veterans like LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, as well as promising young talents like Austin Reeves, could help Thomas develop a more well-rounded game. LeBron, in particular, has a reputation for elevating the play of those around him and helping younger players find their niche. That mentorship could be invaluable for Thomas, who is still very young and has plenty of room to grow, especially in areas like court vision and defensive consistency. Speaking of defense, that remains one of the biggest concerns with Thomas. The Lakers have struggled defensively at times in recent seasons, and adding a player who isn't known for his defensive prowess could be seen as a risk. However, defense is also one of the most coachable aspects of the game. If the Lakers' coaching staff can get Thomas to buy into a defensive system and hold him accountable, his natural athleticism and length could allow him to be at least a competent defender. Even if he never becomes an elite defender, being average and putting in consistent effort on that end might be enough given his scoring upside. Another angle to consider is how Thomas's addition could affect the Lakers' future roster construction and salary cap management. The 2-year player option deal mentioned earlier offers the Lakers flexibility. If Thomas excels, they have the option to keep him for another year or use his value as a trade asset to make additional moves. If he struggles or chemistry issues arise, the player option allows Thomas to opt out, giving the Lakers financial breathing room and roster space to pivot without being locked into a long-term commitment. This flexibility is crucial for the Lakers, given their current roster and salary cap situation. With major contracts already in place for stars like LeBron and Davis, and with ongoing speculation about additional moves or trades, having a relatively low-risk, moderately priced scorer like Thomas makes sense. It's a move that doesn't block the development of younger players either, because Thomas's style and role would be different from those developing players who might focus more on playmaking or defense. Looking at the broader NBA context, this kind of signing fits into a trend where teams are increasingly willing to take flyers on talented young scorers who have yet to fully realize their potential. The league is full of examples where players who struggled to find their footing early on blossomed when given the right opportunity and environment. Thomas could be one of those players. If he thrives in a structured role with clear expectations, his confidence and performance could soar, leading to a breakout season. It's also worth mentioning that Thomas's injury history is relatively minor but not negligible. He missed a number of games last season due to various issues, which might concern some teams. However, there's no indication that these injuries are chronic or serious long-term issues. With proper medical and training staff, and given the opportunity to manage his minutes wisely, the Lakers could minimize the risk of injury setbacks. The psychological aspect of this move can't be ignored either. Thomas has clearly expressed frustration with the Nets and their lack of commitment to him as a key player. A fresh start with a franchise like the Lakers, in front of a passionate fan base, and under the guidance of a coaching staff that has experience managing egos and developing players, could provide the motivation Thomas needs to elevate his game. The pressure to perform in Los Angeles is intense, but it often brings out the best in players who are ready to prove themselves. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers have been circulating throughout the NBA community, stirring intense speculation and excitement among fans and analysts alike. The latest buzz involves none other than Kevin Durant, one of the most prolific scorers and versatile forwards of his generation. Rumors are gaining traction that Durant has reached an agreement with the Los Angeles Lakers, a move that could dramatically reshape the league's landscape. While nothing has been officially confirmed by either Durant or the Lakers front office, insiders suggest that the two parties have been in deep discussions, exploring the possibilities of Durant donning the purple and gold. This potential signing would mark a seismic shift for the Lakers, a franchise known for its historic dominance and recent attempts to reclaim NBA supremacy. Durant's addition could be the missing piece to complement LeBron James and Anthony Davis, creating a powerhouse trio that might rival some of the most formidable lineups in NBA history. The Lakers, who have been aggressively pursuing talent to bolster their roster, could finally secure one of the game's elite stars, turning speculation into reality. The implications of Durant's possible move to the Lakers ripple far beyond just team chemistry. Analysts are already hypothesizing how his skill set, his scoring prowess, shooting efficiency, and defensive capabilities would synergize with the Lakers' existing core. The combination of Durant's smooth scoring ability and LeBron's playmaking genius might forge an unstoppable offensive machine. Furthermore, Anthony Davis's defensive presence and athleticism could create a balanced, multidimensional squad capable of contending for the championship immediately. The rumors also hint at intricate negotiations involving salary cap maneuvering and potential player trades, indicating the Lakers' commitment to making this blockbuster signing happen. Such a move would not only elevate the Lakers' status, but also send shockwaves through the league, forcing other teams to reconsider their strategies and roster constructions. As the offseason progresses, Fans and media outlets eagerly watch for any official confirmation or denial, knowing that the NBA's power dynamics could soon be altered in unprecedented ways. Beyond the court, Durant's potential signing with the Lakers carries significant commercial and cultural weight. The Lakers are arguably the NBA's most iconic franchise, boasting a global fan base and a rich history intertwined with legends like Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal. Durant joining the Lakers would not only enhance their competitive prospects, but also elevate the team's marketing appeal worldwide. Endorsement deals, merchandise sales, and international viewership would likely skyrocket with Durant's arrival, reinforcing the Lakers' brand dominance. Meanwhile, Durant himself would benefit from playing in the Los Angeles market, known for its media exposure and celebrity culture, which could further amplify his profile off the court. The buzz surrounding this rumor has already ignited social media conversations, with fans debating the potential impacts and imagining the Lakers' future lineup. This possible acquisition, if true, would mark a pivotal moment in Durant's career and the franchise's quest for NBA glory, blending athletic ambition with business acumen in a high-stakes gamble. Meanwhile, rival teams and league executives have reportedly been closely monitoring the situation, aware that Durant's decision could trigger a domino effect across the NBA. Should he indeed join the Lakers, competing franchises might scramble to strengthen their rosters, seeking to counterbalance the newly formed super team. The ripple effects might lead to unexpected trades, free agent signings, and shifts in coaching strategies. The Lakers front office, led by General Manager Rob Pelinka and President of Basketball Operations Magic Johnson, is believed to be pulling out all the stops to secure Durant's commitment, knowing the immense value he could add. Yet, the negotiations are likely complex and delicate, involving more than just player salaries, but also the intricacies of team chemistry and long-term planning. Rumors suggest that Durant himself is weighing various factors, including his desire for a championship, the Lakers' organizational stability, and the opportunity to play alongside LeBron James, one of the greatest players in history. The coming weeks promise a flurry of activity and speculation, as the NBA world holds its breath for definitive news. In the midst of this swirling speculation, fans are already dreaming about the potential of a Lakers team led by Durant, LeBron, and Davis. Imagery of high-scoring games, clutch playoff performances, and a renewed quest for NBA championships fills social media feeds and sports talk shows. The excitement surrounding this rumor highlights the hunger for marquee moves in a league hungry for fresh storylines and competitive balance. While some skeptics caution that such deals often fall through or face delays, the consistent nature of the reports suggests genuine momentum behind the talks. Whether Durant ultimately signs with the Lakers or chooses a different path, the mere possibility has reignited conversations about super teams, player agency, and the evolving nature of professional basketball. The Lakers franchise, always in the spotlight, stands at the center of this thrilling drama, poised to potentially redefine its future and the broader NBA narrative in one bold stroke. Until official word arrives, the rumor mill continues to churn, keeping fans captivated and eager for what could be one of the biggest signings in basketball history. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.